As fathers, we are supremely blessed and excited about being dads. Our own father experience had some difficulties. My dad, he had some weaknesses. He was a Christian fellow in his infancy commitment, but not developed. He wasn't an example of a follower of Christ. He had weakness in that he was alcoholic. He had weakness in that he didn't pay attention to his children enough. And in that case, he was a really good example to me of what things not to do. My dad was great about that.
My dad was also an alcoholic, struggled with depression. My understanding of a father was just someone who provided. For him, it was just about making sure there was food on the table, and that's what a dad did. I know he loved us, but I don't actually recall him ever saying or showing that. It was kind of like what Kelly said. I learned a lot of what not to do. I didn't want my kids to feel the way that I felt.
When I became a Christian and followed Christ, and I learned from Jesus, the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, I learned so much about how to be a dad from God the Father. You know, as a dad growing up, I always wanted to go with my kids to church, because that's the way to do it. You go together to the house of God.
I've always been, since before I was a Christian, I was on the worship team. I got saved already playing worship. But my kids grew up here because I was here. I'm going, you're going. And that was, for me, it was really important to stay involved, because I'll find an excuse not to go. When you're involved, you have to go, and it's super important.
Any deficit, any drag that you've got there from your folks, your father, they can be overcome, because our Heavenly Father is powerful. He trains us and teaches us, and fills our heart with love, and He does more than provide. I like what you said. It's deep. There's depth.
God just turned the light on for me. I was in darkness, and then I wasn't. And I wanted to know more about Jesus, and the more I learned about Jesus, the more I realized He's a perfect representation of the Father. And then that's where I started to learn what a father is, and what does that mean to be always giving, always looking out for your children, for their best interest. And I get that from God the Father. Everything He does is for His children. And that's just His nature. That's who He is. And so that's who I want to be.